Hey everybody, I'm in the middle of working on playing a song called Leave the Light On by Chris Smither, and it was requested by one of my students. And in terms of truth in advertising, the song is very difficult to play. It's certainly playing up for me. And so I thought I would share some of my train wrecks with you, but also because I did that great interview with Esther Friedman talking about bringing the practice down to the studs, or practicing for gentle souls. I thought I would show you how I'm applying it to my process here. So what I'm going to do first is play what I can play so far, and it's very slow. I need to count while I play, and you're going to see all of my train wrecks so far. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1 and 2, and 1 and 2, and 3. 4 and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 and 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 and 2. 3 and a 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and 1, 2, and 3 and 4. All right, that's the first 16 measures. All right, so there's a couple of places that are really kicking my ass because this song is difficult for me to play. And so one of them is the transition in the third measure. First of all, let me just say that when Chris Smither plays it, he does thumb overs, and I've got little stubby thumbs, so I'm not doing any of the thumb overs. The tab that I have, I'll share the link with you. It's mikesmusicmethod.com. And that's where I got the tab, and I'll put a link to his tutorial video. Be sure and download his tab and give him a tip for it. Really good teacher, and that's what I used to learn this so far, so that I could teach my student. In any case, in the third measure, actually, in this case, when I can, I'm using my first finger on the low E, because, anyone who can do thumb overs, I'm very envious. So the first beat is 5 and 5 on the low E and high E, and then I'm hitting the D string. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you slide on the G string. You're sliding from the 5th fret to the 8th fret, right? And the timing tripped me up because you've got the 4 and then I'm going to frets 8 and 9 on the G and the high E, or strings 3 and 1, and then the first beat of the next measure is 1 and there's something about that just really tripped me up. So one of the things that I did is that I broke it down just within the measure, one beat at a time, starting with what's the 4th measure, and the last beat, what you play is the D string, and then you hit the G string, or so 4th string, 3rd string, and I've got my finger on the 5th fret of the G string. That's the 4th beat of that measure, 4 and. So I just played that, and I did that. I usually do it like 3 or 4 times. never more than that, only because then I start to get repetition brain where I've done it so much it stops making sense kind of thing. 4 and, right? And then I added the third beat. 3, 4, and, 3, 4, and then I did that several times. And then the second beat is just playing the D string open. So the second beat, 2, 3, 4, and again, 2, 3, 4, and. The way you'll see it in the tab, if you get it, is that there's a thumb over on the 5th fret while playing on the 7th fret. Now, Chris Smither has hands the size of Montana, and he can actually make that stretch where he's thumbing over on the 5th fret and playing this on the 7th fret, which is just an incredible thing to behold. So, but I'm playing it with the open E string, and the guitar's tuned to open D, by the way. So I did that from the third beat, and then I added the first beat, which is up here where I'm on frets 8 and 9. So 1 and 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to do that again. 1 and 2, 3, 4, and. All right. And then I added just the fourth beat of the last measure, where I'm again hitting 4 and. It's the same 4 and. So 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4 and did that several times. What happens is this is a technique called back chaining. It's a learning technique that comes from behavioral psychology, something I learned about way back 100 years ago when I was in college, and then did human service work for a little while in the 80s. And it's a way of teaching a new skill where you start at the end and you break down a task into smaller steps, and you do the last thing first, and then the second to last, third to last, second to last, etc. And at a certain point, some point in the 90s, I thought, I could do this when I'm learning something on the guitar. And so that's what I'm doing here. And what happens but when you get to the end of where the section that you're working on, it's the part that you've played the most, and it starts to feel, you feel almost relieved when you get there, because it's the one that you've done the most and you're the most comfortable with it. So it was really helpful to me in particular to have that transition from the fourth beat of the third measure and going into the first beat of the fourth measure. So let me do that one more time. 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4, 4 and. All right. Now, let me add the third beat of the third measure, and then going into the fourth measure. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1. See, this is, I just screwed it up. Let me do it again. 3, 4, and 1, and 2, 3, 4, and. All right, now I'm going to add the second beat. 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, 3, 4, and. Right, I did that several times, and then now I'm going to do it from the beginning of the third measure all the way through the fourth measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, 3, 4, and. All right. So I'm still needing to do it slowly. At some point, I'll be able to play it, and it'll sound a little bit more like Chris Smither. But this is what I could do for now. And breaking it down in that way is just really helpful to me. Also just identifying like, okay, there's that little piece that's really kicking my ass. And then really observing like, I wonder why that's kicking my ass. Well, it had to do with the timing. So counting is what helped me sort of, unlock the mystery, right? And informed the way that I've been practicing it. Anyway, I hope that was helpful, and until next time.